How's it going, everyone? So today, what we're going to do is we're going to build an AI art generator, and users can prompt their image, and also we're going to put some little twists where users can select one of the famous artists like Picasso, Dali, Van Gogh, and Frida Kahlo, right? And the AI art generator will generate the image mimicking one of those selected artists. So yeah, how cool is that? And we're going to build it using Codex, GitHub, and Skapi. As usual, just plain English prompts, nothing else. You don't need to know anything about coding. You don't need to know anything about server deployment or anything complex. So just follow along and you'll be able to build your own creative AI art generator. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, go to GitHub and log into GitHub. We are going to create a new repository by clicking on this green button, New, in your repository page. Let's click on this New button. And let's name our repository AI Art Generator. All right. And okay, and don't forget to click on this Add a README file. So this will help you to initialize your GitHub repository, right? And let's click on Create Repository. All right, our repository is created. Now, before we connect this repository to our codex, we need to add a couple of files. First things we need to add is we need to add the whole API documentation of Skapi to this repository. So the codex will be able to reference that API documentation when implementing any of the backend stuff. And second, we have to add the agent file. The agent file is a markdown file where it tells codex on how to build our web application. It gives a certain direction on or the structure of how it should be built. So we are going to add those two files, and those two files you can find them in our Skapi documentation website. Okay, so go to skapi.com and click on this docs link. And once you go to the docs link, this is the API documentation page where you could actually read and learn how to use Skapi API libraries. But for now, we're not going to do that ourselves. Just scroll down and you will see a section called for AI developers. So click on this Codex Agents. And when you click on that, you'll see some kind of a text in a markdown format. Right-click on this page and click on Save As. And we are going to save this agents file, agents.md. And we are going to save this file. And then go to Full Markdown. Click on Full Markdown. This link will show you the full context of the Skapi API's documentation. So we are going to save this full documentation into one single markdown file. From this page, right-click on your mouse and click on Save As and save it as skapi.md. Okay, now we're going to save this. All right, now we have two files saved and downloaded in our computer. So back to GitHub, and from our repository, let's upload those two files to our repository. So how do we do that? Let's click on this Add File button and then click on Upload Files. All right, so let's drag and drop the files that we have just downloaded from Skapi API documentation page. It was agents.md and the other one was skapi.md. Okay, all right. Now these two files are added here, so I'm going to commit changes. Okay, now we see these two files added to the file list in our repository. Okay, looks good. Now we are going to connect our repository with Codex. go to ChatGPT and you'll see your codex in the side menu. Click on this codex. So from here, what we have to do is we have to connect our GitHub repository with Codex, so Codex can start working on our GitHub repository. So how we do that is let's click on this little button below the prompt and click on Manage Environments. Okay, and then click on Create Environments. And we have to add our repository to this list. So click on this tiny link below, and it will redirect you to a GitHub settings page. And if you scroll down, click on Select Repository, and let's select the repository that we just created for this project, which was AI Art Generator. So click on that and save. And then we go back to Codex, and if we refresh, you will be able to see your newly created GitHub repository on this list. So I see my here, AI Art Generator. Let's select that. Don't forget to turn this agent internet access to on, and domain allow list, just let's make it all unrestricted, and click on create environment, which is right below on this page. So I'm clicking on create environments, and everything looks good, so I will click on use this. Okay, now let's check by clicking on this tiny button below the prompts, and I can see this tick is on my AI Art Generator environment. All right, so we could start prompting, and the Codex will start working on this GitHub repository, which is AI Art Generator. You see this tick over here? So it means the Codex will be working on this repository. So yeah, let's start to prompt. And I'm going to give a prompt, which I have already written down. So I'm going to copy and paste. I'm telling Codex to build me an AI art generator where users can prompt the image and choose the art style by selecting an artist name from the select elements. And the artist list is Van Gogh, Salvador Dali, Frida Kahlo, Picasso, and we also have to tell Codex that we will use OpenAI API to do this. All right, and let's click on code. Okay, we're going to click here and see what's going on inside. Okay, now the Codex has a response. It's saying that I can help you build the AI art generator, but the repository instruction require providing both the Skapi service ID and owner's ID before proceeding. Please supply those values along with the name of the client secret key registered in your OpenAI API key in Skapi. So yeah, so first thing we need to do, we need to go to Skapi and create your account in Skapi and log in. And once you log in, go to my services page, and we need to create a new backend service for our application. So let's click on this blue button, create new service, and give a service name. I'm going to give it a AI art gen, and I'm going to click next. Let's do free trial. Okay. Now, when you see this page, it means our backend service for our AI art generator application has been created. So we need to give the service ID and the owner's ID to Codex, which is these values. So let's just copy and paste that to our prompt. The service ID and owner ID is, okay, and it also asked us for a client secret key. So we have to give a client secret key name because when we're using third-party APIs, which requires a client secret key, we cannot expose those key in our code because our code will be all exposed in GitHub. So the safe way to do this is we have to obtain a secret key from OpenAI's API service and then register that in Skapi backend, okay? So to do that, let's go to OpenAI API service, OpenAI API. There it is. Log in to API platform. And once you log into OpenAI's API platform, click on this settings icon. And from this page, go to API keys. Now you have to obtain an API keys. So you could use the API service that OpenAI provides outside from their platform. So we are going to create a new secret key. Click on this green button. And let's give it a name, AI Art Gen. It could be anything you want. Project default and create secret key. Okay, now it gives us this secret key. Make sure you save this before you close this window because this is the only time that they're going to show you this secret key. So copy this code and temporarily paste that somewhere, okay? Click on done. Now we have created our secret key, and now we need to register this secret key in our Skapi backend. So back to Skapi. Let's go back to Skapi. And from our service dashboard, go to client secret key, okay? And click on register client secret key. Let's paste that secret key that we got from OpenAI over here, okay? And then let's give it a name. Let's give it the name AI Art. Okay, click on OK. And now we have saved our client secret key and gave it the name AI Art to our Skapi backend. Now we could safely use this client secret key without exposing the actual secret key from the code. Okay, so go back to Codex. Tell that the client secret key name is, we just named it AI Art. Let's also tell Codex that the client secret key is public. So I told Codex that the client secret key is set to public. What does this mean? If you go to the Skapi page, you see this setting. So when you log it, it means it's private. It means the users need to be logged in to actually use this client secret key. If it's public, user is not required to be logged in to make requests to this API, all right? So for now, we're just going to make it public so it doesn't require any login. So let's go back to Codex and see what's happening. Okay, looks like Codex has finished coding, and it's showing us that what file that has Codex added to our repository. You could review these code line by line, but what do we know about coding? So we're just gonna click on this create PR, that stands for pull request, create pull request. And once the loading animation is finished, now click on view PR, okay? And let's click on merge pull request. And then confirm merge. Now what we just did is we just merged and accepted the changes that Codex made to our repository. And now we'll be able to see all the files are added to our repository. So let's view our repository. Now we have a bunch of files added, which Codex added to our repository. Now you could download this project as a zip file by clicking this green button code and click on download zip. But for now, we're going to try to use VS Code to kind of sync this GitHub repository to our local folder. Okay, so let's open up the VS Code. Okay, and we are going to clone this repository to our local computer. To do that, we are going to click on Clone Git Repository. And then we need to provide the link to our created repository. We can get the link from our GitHub page. Click on this code green button, and then click on this copy URL to clipboard. Okay, click on Clone Git Repository, and then paste that URL, and click on Clone from URL. Now it will ask us which folder we want to clone our repository to. Normally, I just do it in my documents folder. So I'm going to choose my documents folder and select that folder to be the location of my Git repository. Okay, so it's asking me, would you like to open the clone repository? Okay, let's click on open. And now we see all the files that are cloned from our Git repository. These files are now synced with our local folders. Let's open up the File Explorer. And as you see, we have a new folder that is named AI Art Generator. And we could open up this folder, and you'll see these files are all downloaded to our local computer. All right. Since always our web application starting point is index.html, so let's try to open up this index.html and see if it works. All right. It says AI art generator. We could select the artist style. Let's try Picasso, and the prompt will be a man fishing on a boat. Let's see if this works. Click on generate. Cannot read properties of undefined reading to lowercase. Okay, it seems that we have some problem. You could actually fix it yourself from VS Code by inspecting these codes. But let's try to inform this error message to Codex and see if Codex can figure out. So back to Codex. When user tries to generate image, user gets an error message, and let's paste the error message in the prompts. Okay, it seems it made some changes here and there. So let's click on create PR, and then click on view PR, and then click on merge pull request, and click on confirm merge, and let's hope for the best. Now back to VS Code, and to sync the changes that we made to our Git repository, you need to click on this source control menu, and then click on this tiny ... menu and click on pull. And once it's pulled, you will have the updated files in your folder. All right, so let's just try to open this file again and see if it works this time. Man fishing on a boat, Van Gogh style, generate. Oh, it's coming in. It's coming in, it's working. Right, let's try this same prompt in Picasso style. Click on generate. I guess it takes some time. All right, it works. That's fantastic. So we just built an AI art generator without having to code it ourselves. We're just using Codex to do all the coding for us. And we just need to give some proper prompts and using the proper APIs. And yeah, that's it. All right, so we just built an AI art generator with generative AI. So I guess it was helpful for you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.